Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weather briefing for American Yacht Club's Fall Regatta. This is weekend two, and this briefing is brought to you by the American Yacht Club Regatta Committee. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weather for today and tomorrow. Today we have high pressure that is kind of to the southwest and south of us this morning. It's pretty expansive and it's causing quite light winds across the area. There is just a little bit of a trough, which is basically just a small little dip in the isobars, a little area of lower pressure that's nearby, and it's kind of gonna sit in the vicinity for the next 12 to 24 hours. So that's helping a little bit. It's bringing us just a little bit of southwest gradient wind along with kind of the top side of this high pressure to the south. So we're right on the edge of this high pressure today. So our gradient winds are very light. And this is going to continue through tonight and tomorrow. You can see that trough, like very, very weak trough, kind of just sitting there. It's not even really reflecting any kind of clouds or anything with it. It's basically just a little dip in that high pressure. So tomorrow, the high spreads out further and we get a bigger kind of expansive high pressure over us as compared to today, where we kind of have it squished to the south and we've got like a frontal system well to the north. But by tomorrow, that frontal system kind of shifts. And this high is allowed to take over more of western Long Island Sound tomorrow. So it's a little bit less optimistic for tomorrow. It's a little bit looking a little bit better for today. Taking a look at the visible satellite image as the sun is kind of just starting to come up in the visible this morning. We've just got a little bit of low clouds you see to the north there with that frontal boundary I was showing you. Everywhere else, very clear skies from that high pressure. So we're going to have lots of sun today. There might just be a little bit of inland clouds happening, but lots of sun, lots of warmth. So we actually have pretty good setup today for a local sea breeze on the Connecticut shore at least. So our wind speeds this morning, it is locally right around 8 a.m. So we have, like I mentioned, just a little bit of this southwest gradient. This observation at AYC you can just kind of throw out the window because there is nothing that's come in since about 7 o'clock last night. So this is false data. So just kind of ignore that 14 knots that you see happening there. But what we do have is 4 or 5 at Larchmont, 7 to 8 down in Bayville. And so there's just a little bit of that southwest flow, and that's coming from the top of portion of that high pressure that you see there. And we've got 4 to 5 further east as well. Like I mentioned, the ingredients are pretty good today for a sea breeze. It doesn't mean it's going to be a strong sea breeze because western Long Island Sound, we just don't really get strong, pure thermal sea breezes that are driven without any kind of gradient in there, just thermal driven. It's not going to be super strong. But the further eastern sections will have a better chance for a little bit stronger breeze. So as I mentioned, there's that little bit of west gradient wind this morning. It's a little bit of a fake out because that's going to die between 9 and 10 a.m. We've got that decreasing. And then, like I mentioned, we have some good ingredients, which includes some light offshore flow at the upper levels. So if we take a quick peek at that, we see there's some offshore flow from the north off the shoreline today, which is helpful for the sea breeze because it helps build the circulation at the upper levels and it helps build the sea breeze at the low levels. So around 11, we might start seeing the beginnings of a sea breeze, but really not building much till after 12. Okay, so after 12, we start to see southerly, kind of south, maybe south-southeast, right on the Connecticut shoreline. Again, this is the side today where we're going to have the best chance for sea breeze. The Long Island side is going to be very light most of the day, if not all of the day. So pretty much between 12, 1, and 2, we're starting to see that south sea breeze increase, pick up, and then especially similar to what I talked about last weekend, especially towards Greenwich and Stamford is where the strongest breeze will be. The further west you go, you can see it is just a lot lighter in there, and that's not just the model, but that's what we find in reality as well, is that it's a lot lighter in the extreme part of the Western Sound. So building and veering on the coast here, we might see up to 8 or 9, maybe 10 knots up near Greenwich. Obviously, further west in here, like I mentioned, probably towards the lighter end of the range, might be less than 5. Um, so that's something to consider for, going west or especially going south towards the Long Island side. Not a lot of breeze there either. And then we probably hit the peak of our sea breeze around 3, 4 o'clock. It may start diminishing as we get closer to 5. And then very late in the day, probably after all racing is done and stuff, you get closer to sunset and the southerly comes in across Long Island. But that's not going to happen today during our kind of typical hours. All right. So let's take a quick look at what I've got in the forecast for you today. Like I mentioned, kind of very little wind after the southwesterly dies out this morning. Sea breeze building stronger further to the east. It should be building and veering as it kind of tries to build. But I've basically got most of the Connecticut side kind of near AYC as low as 3 to 4, as high as maybe 7 to 8. The further east you go, better chance of getting up to 9 to 10, closer to Greenwich. Like I said, Long Island side, very light. Some areas maybe near 0. Other areas maybe more like 4 or 5. But takes longer for anything to get going even close on the Long Island side because it has to build on the Connecticut shore first and then extend towards Long Island. Late in the day, mentioning that increase, from the south that you may see 5 or 6 p.m., but that's pretty late. Pretty good model agreement for all of this, and I think all the ingredients are in place today for this kind of a setup, so pretty high confidence in how it's looking for today. Let's take a quick little preview at tomorrow. So tomorrow, like I mentioned, that high pressure is sitting, more expansive across the area. This is going to translate into even lighter gradient winds and potentially some east-northeast flow early in the day. In the morning, we see really light kind of northeast to east-northeast breeze inside the sound. And then that kind of diminishes late morning, middle part of the day. It's getting lighter. It's trying to sea breeze, but the northeast east gradient wind is not a great direction for the sea breeze to be able to build there. And it usually can't flick around enough into the east or southeast to really do much. So most of the time, this means we end up with just a light northeast breeze in this area. It may try to go kind of east or east southeast late in the day. And so I think the best bet for breeze is probably later in the day as it tries to go east southeast. And maybe 5 or 6 knots. I definitely looks better after 2 or 3 p.m. But I know that's getting to the end of the day there. But it's definitely getting better. And then the southerly arrives a little bit earlier tomorrow. So I want to watch the forecast and see if the southerly that's pushing across Long Island potentially may come in as early as 4 p.m. Right now it looked like maybe 5 p.m., but it could be a little earlier. So we may have a southerly push coming in late in the day. And if it comes in earlier, that would be a much better sign for us for tomorrow. So I'll just show you what the model has for the day tomorrow here, this high-res 2-kilometer model. This is that light northeast in the morning. The blue is about 4 or 5 knots, and if it's lighter than that, it's under 4 knots. So that takes you to 7, 8 a.m. So you see there's a little breeze in the morning, 9 a.m. Here's 10 a.m. So about 4 to 6 at the most. 11 o'clock, it's still kind of hanging in there until 12, although at the coast you can see it's basically gone to the purple, which is 0 to 2. So very light at the coast. It's got just a little bit on the Long Island side tomorrow, midday, 12 or 1 p.m. We may see actually a little bit more breeze on the Long Island side if it is able to have a little thermal influence from kind of a northeast direction on Long Island side tomorrow. but the Connecticut New York side looks very light as it tries to turn around into an onshore east southeast, but doesn't really get there above maybe 4 and 5 knots. Um, this is late afternoon, 2 o'clock. You can see it's kind of struggling to do any kind of sea breeze here, but there's a southerly down here that's across Long Island, and so the question is can this southerly push up and weaken the east northeast breeze here, or does the east northeast hold it down for a while until 4 o'clock? So you can see these two, I don't want to say battling, but somewhat just kind of at a stalemate here. Late afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, the southerly starts to win. We probably won't see the southerly until more like I said, 4 at the earliest or 5, but I want to watch this and see if it comes in earlier, because that would be a good breeze if the southerly can make its way all the way in. Otherwise, I think we're dealing with kind of a light northeast to east northeast, potentially going a little bit southeast at times. Breeze for tomorrow. So a little bit trickier, but stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to have a written update for you, and we will send that out along with everything else tomorrow morning. So good luck today and enjoy.